Okay, so we watched the video on how to use Creative Commons, but we can't stop there. Most of the material in Creative Commons still requires that you give credit to the person who created the original document or artwork that you might be using to support your claims. So we want to show you how to do that. If you know how to use APA or MLA formatting, you're welcome to do that. However, you do not have to go into that detail. For our needs, we typically just need the person's name and the URL where you found your information. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to start by searching the Commons, and in this case I'm going to use Disney because that's something we're all familiar with. Notice I've checked these two boxes. You probably don't have to check these. This is in case you're trying to sell it or if you're going to really make big changes to it. But if you're just using it, then you can uncheck them, and that would actually create more pictures for you to choose from. However, I'm going to leave these checked. So I'm going to search Disney, and I found a picture earlier that I want to share with you. So here's a picture that I wanted to use, and it's of the castle with the fireworks. So by clicking on the picture, it's going to tell me who the photographer is, and also if I scroll down I can see its attribution license, which basically just means he wants credit. Now once in a while you'll get a picture with no photographer. You can still use that picture as long as there's a URL to the main source. Okay. In this case, if I'm going to download it, I'm going to go to all sizes, and I just need a small picture, so I'm going to click on the small, and then I can download it or I can copy it. In this case, I'm going to copy it. Now I'm a Google Doc user, but you can do the same thing with Microsoft Word. In this case, I pasted the picture into my document, I included the name of the photographer, and then I used the URL from where I got the picture sized. So back to here, I just took the URL from the web address, copied it, and put it into parentheses with the author's name or the photographer's name. This will suffice for our needs. Now I'm going to show you another way to do it if you are a Google Doc user. If you are, you could go to Research Tools, and in this case I'm going to type Disney, and I'm going to make sure that it says free to use, share, or modify. Now in Google Research, it allows you to pick one of those formatting tools we mentioned earlier. I'm just going to use MLA. And then I like this picture, so I'm going to drop and drag it, and look what it does. It creates a footnote for me, and that footnote is at the bottom of my page, and that will work. That's all we need at this point. Okay, so let's say you're not using a picture. What other information should you be citing or referencing? Anytime you use numbers or data, anytime you use quotes from someone, or if a sentence includes, let's say a sentence starter such as according to, any type of reference to someone, you should include that information. So let me show you this. In this case, I wrote a sentence. Did you know that nearly 30% of sharks are endangered or near extinction? As soon as I say this, if it's just from me, as a reader, you might be guessing I can be making that up. But I found this information somewhere else, and I want to make sure that you know where I got it from. So two ways to do that. Again, simplifying it, you could just take the URL and put it in parentheses here. And I'm going to show you where that website is. So here's my citation, or my reference, my ability to direct the reader to where I found that information. And if I go there, it would look something like this from Scientific American. Now, that does get a little sloppy, so let me show you what else you could do. To avoid from having a long URL in the middle of your paragraph, using Google Docs or Microsoft Word, you could insert a footnote and paste your URL down at the bottom. If I scroll back up, my footnote's there, and now as a reader, I can come down and find out where that information came from. Again, if you're using Google Docs, you could also do an automatic footnote. Here's the same website that we just used, and I could just put citation. And when I do that, notice that my citation shows up by the data, because that's where my cursor was when I put insert citation. And if I go to the bottom, it will be cited here. And in this case, we get even more information because we asked for MLA formatting. This is the way to cite your information, and remember, using others' information is a great idea when you're using it to support your thoughts.